Alright guys, I'm going to show you how I clean my RC car bearings and re-grease them. I've got a Traxxas Summit, and this is a pretty typical Traxxas bearing. The blue ones with the little dust shields on it. First thing you need to do is take the shield off. I do that with a single edge razor blade. Most of the time I get the edge, this corner of the blade, and I poke it right here into the seal. Well, not in the seal, but next to the seal, right where it goes into that edge. I try to get it at about a 45-degree angle, and I just put the corner in there. Now I'm trying to do this looking through a camera. I've never done that before, but mostly feel. You get it in that edge a little bit, wiggle it, put a little down pressure, and scoop and pop it up. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this looking through the camera because it's really messing up my eyes. Whoop, it's close. Let's see. Because you got to really be able to see it too. There you go. Get under there enough, and that cover will come right off. Let me put it on the razor blade so I can get a good look at that. Yeah. It doesn't damage it. It's just a dust shield. Yeah. Now set it off to the side and do the same for the back. Try this again. If I do this enough times with the camera, I might get good at it. Oop, close. Come on. Get in there. Yeah, it's definitely easier without the camera. Hang on, I'm going to turn to the side here. Yep, there we go. Here's the second one. This one I did scratch the top a little bit, but I don't think it's going to be that big of an issue. Usually I get them a little better than that. So, you're left with your bearing, little retainer in there, the balls, they all kind of stay together. This one's not terribly bad. Then I go, next is to clean it. I do that with a little brake clean. Yeah, I should have everything ready, huh? Right here I got some O'Reilly's brake parts cleaner. Yeah, you want to have a big bucket or something to spray it into. Do it outside, ventilate well. Just kind of spray it. Comes out pretty fast. Be ready. Or just trickle it in slow. I don't know if I can get that on the camera, how to trickle it. Whoop. Trickle it. Use a bucket to catch the drippings. Do both sides. Spin that bearing a few times. Spin it. Look inside of it good. See any big chunks or something, blow some more through it. If you have compressed air, an air compressor with a blow tip, now's the time to have that thing ready. If not, you can get by with one of these cans of blow off air. I don't know, this is Duster. This one's just about empty. I was doing some electronics repairs earlier. And it will work too, but get it right in that bearing, right in the edges, and blow it out. This can's about empty, so you can probably hear it doesn't have much power to it. But, yep, still got some, when you look close at it, under light, you'll see if you still got dirt and grease in it. And this one still has some. So, I'm gonna swish it around here. Get a big enough bucket, save it. Brake cleaner evaporates fast. But once it's all has a little grease in it, it slows it down considerably. In the old days, in my youth, I would have cleaned my bearings just with a friggin' can of regular old gas, straight out of the gas pump. But that was, 50 years ago, thereabouts. And it's frowned upon. But, hey, you do what you got to do with what you got, right? So, now, let's blow this off again. Oh, it's hard to get the angle so I can see and you can see what's going on without making a mess. But blow that dirt the hell out of there. Now, once you're convinced it's all blown out, and the bearing, it's all blown, the bearing dries up, good. Get rid of your cleaning bucket solution, put it off to the side. I'm going to set my bearing down here for a minute, and I'm going to grab the grease that I have sitting around, because I've had it sitting around forever. It's automotive grease I used to use for packing the wheel bearings in cars and trucks. What I use is Amalie, better than it has to be. Yeah, it's called New Blue. Well, it's been around for a while now. High temp lithium complex 2 grease. For me, it works great. You choose whatever you want to use. As you can see, it's a great tub. I've had a lot. I hand pack my bearing, which is a dirty, dirty mess. If you've got a bunch of bearings, you might want to make some kind of jig. But since I'm only doing one, I'm going to just do it by hand. And I get myself a good little gob on my finger. And then I put that in the palm of my hand. Like so. And get rid of this grease off to the side. Off to the side. And then, with a real car bearing, you just go real slow. Just kind of take out a little bite at a time as you're pushing it into the grease. And you'll see on the top, see that little blob in the center there starting to pop up? That's the grease. That's the grease coming through, that little center blob. Start filling in all those voids in there. And I can keep going around like that. See the second one coming through now? Yeah, you're going to get some in the center of the bearing, and it's just going to keep getting more and more messy. But what we're looking to do is to get to, there's another one coming up through the center, is to keep moving around, and you can get off more bigger bites, and sooner or later you get tired of looking at it. There's some more coming up through the 3 coming up through, and you keep working it like that all the way around the bearing. When you've got it come through all the way, and I take it and I put my extra grease back on the top and squish it back in there. Because as far as I'm concerned, it's hard to get too much in there. I'm sure there's schools of thought that say, hey, that's way too much. Which, hey, they might be right, but for me it works. For you, you can use less. Use whatever you need. Okay, now, it's still a messy, messy mess, but it's definitely packed full of grease. So, now I take my covers, the dust shields that we took off earlier. Now these shields have a bottom and a top side. You can see that little ring, that's the bottom side. Flip it over, it's all flat and blue. Now I should have wiped that all off with my towel and made sure there's no dirt in it. But there wasn't any when I took it apart. And you set that seal back over the top, right where it came from, and just push it down. Kind of use a fingernail. Pop it in a little bit. Pop it in a little bit more. There. That should be set now. Now go find your other cover or dust shield. Put it on the other side. Squeeze it back on. Now when you get your bearing apart, you can look and see what holds this shield in. There's a little recess that's machined into the outer ring of the bearing. And that's what they're popping into and holding on to. That's why they stay. Get that all cleaned up good. Now, take your rag. You're gonna want a good rag because you're gonna be making a mess. Plan on this rag never being used for anything else again, unless you really want to spend a lot on your Dawn and other things to try to clean this grease back out of it. But once this grease is in there, it's generally there to stay, because this is some good shit. Now, it's almost clean. Still got that big freaking hole of goop in the middle. So what am I gonna do with that? I gotta find anything that about fits the hole. Just poke it through. Poke it through. Wipe it off. Poke it back. And just to polish it off, get yourself a cleaner paper towel. Use a cleaner one. Give it another wipe. Push down around those seals. Work it around. You can run your paper through the center of it. Give it a little spin. And there, whoop, let me get the grease off my fingers here. Oh, where's my rag? And there we have, whoop, oh, looks like my light's having an issue. Here we have a freshly cleaned, re-greased, and ready to go bearing. Hope that answers a couple questions for you, or at least gives you my way of doing things. Again, you know, the same thing. It works on the bigger bearings, the smaller bearings. You just gotta get under that lip a little bit, and the pointier the object that you have trying to do it, the better. Because you know, you're gonna scratch it a few times, and I don't know why, but these big ones seem to be a little bit more difficult to get them to let go. It's a pain in the ass, and I can't do it looking through the camera. I don't know why. It keeps throwing me off. Let me get off to the side here. Come on. Well, I'm about ready to give up on this one. Just to say, it may not always work. Oops. Crap, I pushed the seal in too tight. There we go. Finally got it under a little bit. Once it's just popping and getting it under, and then the whole thing will just come right out. And then you're there to go. One more. Got a little small one here, or smaller-ish. Work it in. Get it under. Once you feel it go under, then just work it right around and boop, comes right off. Easy peasy. Well, good luck, guys. Hope it works. Got any questions? Free field to ask. I'll try to answer them. Bye.